A person's worth is not measured by the job they do, but by how they do that job. This truth is often forgotten in a world that rushes to define us by our titles and salaries. Many people believe they are stuck, that their job defines who they are. They don't realize that the key to change isn't in the outside world, but right inside their own mind. Today's story is about a man who discovered that secret. Once, in a noisy and dusty carpentry workshop, there was a worker named Mark. His job, every single day, was to build rough wooden crates for shipping. 8 hours a day, he repeated the same boring motions: take the wood, measure, cut, and hammer. To Mark, this wasn't a career. It was an existence. He looked at his colleagues, just as tired and resigned as he was. He believed he was just a laborer, a tiny cog in a giant machine. He worked only for the paycheck, his mind always somewhere else. If only I had talent, he often sighed. If only I had a more important job. One day, the workshop received a special order. A famous old sculptor from the region needed a few simple wooden boxes to store his precious tools. The manager assigned the task to Mark. Mark shrugged. A box is just a box, he thought. As he was working, the old artisan came to watch. He observed Mark in silence. Mark worked quickly, his hands moving fast, but his eyes were distant, and his hammer blows were rushed, leaving small scratches on the wood. After Mark finished the first box, the artisan spoke. "Do you hate this work?" Mark was startled. He stammered, I don't hate it. It's my job." The artisan shook his head. "No, you are working like a machine. You are here, but your mind is not. You are not building a box. You are just wasting your time in exchange for money." Mark felt offended. "I did what was asked. It's a sturdy box. What more do you want?" The old artisan placed his rough hand on the wood. "I don't need a sturdy box. I need a box made by a craftsman, a true craftsman, whether he is building a rough crate or carving a statue, puts his soul into it. You have the hands of a craftsman, but you have the heart of a slave to time." With that, he turned and left, leaving Mark standing stunned amidst the wood scraps. His words hit Mark like a hammer blow. The hands of a craftsman, the heart of a slave? He looked down at his own hands. They were calloused and rough from thousands of hammer strikes. He had always seen them as proof of his dead-end life. But today, for the first time, he asked himself, what if I'm not a machine? That night, he couldn't sleep. The artisan's words echoed in his head. The next morning, Mark arrived at the workshop early. He didn't start right away. He chose a new piece of wood, carefully wiping off the dust. He felt the grain under his fingers. He began to build the box again. This time, he did not rush. Every saw line he tried to cut perfectly straight. Every nail he hammered with care and precision, leaving no scratches. He no longer heard the noise of the workshop. He only heard the rhythm of his own work. It took him all morning to finish one box, a job that took him only 30 minutes the day before. The box fundamentally was the same as the one from yesterday, but it was strangely different. The corners were perfect. The surface was smooth. It wasn't just sturdy, it was beautiful. When the old artisan returned, he said nothing. He just slowly ran his hand over the wood. Then he looked up at Mark and nodded. "Today, I see a carpenter." From that day on, Mark changed. He still did the same job, building rough wooden crates, but he was no longer the same man. He was no longer a factory worker waiting for the day to end. He was a carpenter, finishing his creation. He began to pay attention to the small details. He found ways to make the crate stronger, lighter, and stack more efficiently. He started seeing problems in the workshop's process that he had never noticed before. His colleagues found it strange. "Mark, what are you doing? They're not paying you extra." Mark just smiled. "I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I am a craftsman." His change did not go unnoticed by the manager. 6 months later, when the workshop needed a line supervisor, the manager chose Mark. "You don't just do the work, you understand the work." Years passed. Mark never became a sculptor, but he became the best carpenter the workshop had ever had. He rose to the position of foreman, then manager of the entire factory. He improved processes and trained hundreds of new workers. He taught them not just how to build a box, but how to be a craftsman. One day, a young man who had just started complained to him, "Mr. Mark, I find this work so boring. I wish I could be doing something great." Mark, now a confident middle-aged man, put his hand on the young man's shoulder. "You don't need to look for greatness somewhere else. It is not in the job. It is in you. Don't be a machine. Be a craftsman. Do your small job with great pride. When you change how you see your work will change your life." Life is not what happens to us, but how we define ourselves in response to what happens. You can be a victim of your circumstances, or you can be the artisan of your own life. That choice begins in the mind, because when you change your mindset, you change your actions. And when you change your actions, you change your future.